Uh-oh.
Test 1, 2, 1, 2.
Test.
Hello. Hey, hello.
Just testing that, just to see if we're good. Okay, alright.
Want to throw the box down?
Okay. And now we're going to.
Is he smoking?
No, he was on a thing after school.
Okay. Cool. You guys ready?
Ready for
Yes,
this?
sir.
Yeah, lick my lips.
Buy some Creole.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Creole.
I know. I was thinking, I was like, is that too on the nose?
I like that.
Because the seat is freaking like burning up. So.
Oh, Put it in.
And then we eat this. Or actually, maybe I'll cue you in to be like,
Can I mention that these are my, the ones that aren't good enough to pass the box test?
I'm giving you my scraps.
yeah.
But they're like fully done. They're not really scraps. Like, they just, the lines aren't perfect. So
That's
I don't
fine.
want to put it in the order.
We'll edit it in post.
It's all good. Okay. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Fuck.
That's how you should have like outtakes. And nothing one of them.
That should be how it
was
starts.
perfect.
Oh, man.
That should be how it starts.
Yikes.
It's something every millennial parent.
Yeah,
Seriously.
That's so funny.
That is great.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 3 of the Perennials, and I am joined by 2 special guests. One I've known for quite some time, Bryant. We've known each other since
You're going back to like 2009, 2008, maybe around there, yeah. So it's been a minute.
yeah, it's been a while. And his lovely wife, Ivana. Thank you
Since
for coming on.
2017.
2017.
Yeah. 2017, that's when I first started dating.
You know what? The first time you came, the first time I met you was at Kadima Jamie's house.
Yes.
Was it very?
I think so. It was the first, it was either that or I brought her to Kareem's
Theater?
house
Kareem's
once.
Kareem's
Cookout.
house. Cedar?
No, that's not Cedar. I brought her to Kareem's house one time in the very beginning, and he was having like a cookover. This is like if they just bought the house.
Nuh-uh. I met them before they bought the house. I met them when they were still living at Cedar. 100%. Caroline and Kareem were living at Cedar Street when I met them.
Because we went there, and I dropped you off, and I was like,
They
"Alright,
moved
I'm leaving,"
after.
and I went and hung out with the guys, and you were like, "Oh, no, leave me alone."
That I remember
See?
actually. But they moved into the house after they got married.
Honey. 2017? No. Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, because we got married 2016.
Right. I wasn't at your wedding because I didn't know you guys.
Right.
We got married 2016. Right.
Yes. Jeez.
Yeah. It's been a while.
It's been a while. It definitely has been a while.
And that wasn't Kareem and Carolyn's house. That was Josie's mom's house. You left me with them and you went with the guys. I remember perfectly. Yep. This is exactly what happened.
She's wrong. That's okay.
Fair enough. One of the fondest moments I have with Bryant is going up to UMass for, I think it was Yassine's birthday. One of our best friends, Yassine, and I could have sworn it was my birthday, and I got turned up.
Yeah, we had a lot of good times in college. Again, a lot of people were under the impression that Tony went to UMass Amherst, and he did not.
Fair.
But yeah, lots of good memories and a lot of funny times back then for sure.
It was.
And now look at us.
Parents.
Dads.
Older men.
Yeah, it's been an absolute like wild ride that we've known each other for so long. We've stayed connected, and our wives, our good friends, our entire group. You know, it's wild to have, 5, 6, 7 guys that are still friends after decades.
Mm-hmm.
That's really hard to come by, and one of the reasons why I wanted to start Perennials is making sure that there's a support system for friends, for community, because it's hard.
Yeah.
It's
For
stressful.
sure.
We're going through our battles, and sometimes we just need to check in on someone and just be like, "Yo, are you okay?" And be that outlet. And I can say that there have been times where I reached out to you where I just needed, a little bit of guidance, and you've helped me out. And it's like you said, it's just been a journey.
Yeah.
It's an absolute journey.
Yeah, no, I think that's the beautiful thing about what you're doing with this podcast right now. Like you said, it can serve as just some form of communication, or something that millennial parents can refer to and listen to, and hopefully just sharing experiences with one another. for
Relate.
sure. And be able to relate, yeah, because I'm sure not just our inner circle, but the listeners who go beyond that.
If we're going
Now
through
in
it,
the
someone's
future,
going
like
through it.
they're gonna, the stories that we will share, and I think the things that you will bring to light in this podcast are gonna resonate with everyone. So
I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna start off with, where are you now? What is your day job? What's your business? How do you want to introduce yourself?
I think the ladies go first. All right, Rhonda.
Well, I am an educator. I'm currently on maternity leave because I had my daughter in March, and I've been lucky enough to spend, will at that point have spent 10 months with her. So I'm on maternity leave, but my day job or my career is I'm an educator. And then I'm also a confectioner. So I own my small business, which is Deep Downs Treats, and I make like everything that's beautiful that you eat, I make. So like I make chocolate covered strawberries, I make sugar cookies, I make cake pops, all within the themes that the customers want. So my personal Instagram handle actually in order goes mama, wife, educator, confectioner, and I feel like that's how I see myself.
Yeah.
Like very first I'm a mom, then I'm a wife, then I'm an educator, then I'm a confectioner.
Awesome. And it looks like you have some treats for us.
Oh, I do. I do have some treats that are kind of like my scraps, but they're not really my scraps. They're just not perfect enough for me to put in a box. So, like there's a little dot there that I didn't like the way that came out.
Okay.
So I didn't want to add it to that box. Oh, and I right there kind of like messed it up. And then on this cookie, there's like a line right there. And I didn't want to do it. So I make sure that all of my treats look like perfect, because obviously people are paying for the quality. And I'm not going to give them something that I personally wouldn't put on a treat too. So I give them to you.
Oh, well, you know what? I'll take this one.
We come here, your wife gives us great finger foods and wine, and my wife brings her rejects.
And my rejects cookies. But they taste good. They might not look perfect, but they taste good.
Oh, we'll give it a taste test. So what flavor is this?
That's just a vanilla cake pop.
No. Okay. Gotta make sure we save one for my son Idris.
Mm-hmm.
Snackable, deckable.
Better than Starbucks cake pop.
1000%.
Nice. That's saying a lot because Starbucks cake pops are very popular.
See,
Thank
this is the dangerous piece of having a wife who's a confectioner. Like, I gotta stay out of the kitchen and away from all these things because otherwise,
They're always
like,
available.
I'll just
Yeah. it's
I'll eat
a
everything that's sweet in there.
problem. Yeah.
So, are you the chief taste tester?
Yeah, so talking about my titles, the many hats that I go by, husband, father, official taste tester of Teton Streets. Put that title in there. Educator as well.
Yeah.
And then, as of about 6 months ago, I began my photography journey. So I put like aspiring photographer, or professional photographer, can't talk, in there as well. But yeah, I think in this time in my life right now, again, there's just so many different things that I've kind of got my hand in at the moment. But first and foremost, being a husband and a father for sure, and then an educator, and then kind of my entrepreneurial self that I'm trying to establish.
So, how do you two stay grounded with one? You have your daughter. She's what, 8 months?
8 months tomorrow.
8 months tomorrow. Being an educator, owning your own businesses, separate businesses, not even like the same businesses.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you stay grounded?
Well, I think it's right now it's very easy because I'm not working at school, so I spend all day with her basically while Brian's at work, and then when he comes home from work, he goes like full dad mode, and then he's able to spend some time with her, and then I'm able to like work on my stuff. And it's like that on the weekends too. Like Saturdays are big days, obviously, because there are a bunch of parties on Saturdays, and so every Saturday has looked exactly the same. He'll get up with her. I sleep in like half hour, 45 minutes, and then he stays with her for the whole morning while I do my treats. And so it's easy to balance it like that because he's away from her when he's at work. So when he comes home, it's like the perfect time to be with her for me to do my other stuff and like house chores and stuff. I feel like it will be much harder once I go back to work, and then we're both not spending as much time with her as we'd like. So I think it's just like living in what works for us right now, and then until it doesn't work anymore, then we'll cross that bridge at that point.
I think it all comes down to communication.
Yeah.
It's a very delicate and difficult balancing act, for sure. Yeah, given that Ivana, like she said, she's currently on leave, but I'm back at work now, right? So, at work from 8 to 3, come home, be in dad mode, and then after I'm done with dad mode, bedtime's my routine. So after I put Charlie down and she's gone off to sleep, then try to dedicate some time to my wife or myself, whether that be just getting in some physical exercise, whatever it is, and then like dedicating some time to the craft that it is that I'm trying to perfect. So whether it's doing some editing of photos, just doing some research on YouTube or in books, trying to just get better. I know that, again, I'm at the very beginning and infancy of my photography career, so it takes time and a lot of practice, like anything else. So, but again, it's a delicate balancing act, but it wouldn't work without just the communication.
And without a calendar. We write everything down.
Staying organized, staying on top of things, and being very transparent and clear about what it is that I need from her. I'm saying like, hey, I need this protected time, right? Can you help me here? So whether that's, once I put her down, like, I need you to give me this time tonight to work on photography or just work on myself, whatever that may be. So,
but even that, like, we need to know it. Like, I need to know it ahead of time. So, like, if he gets home and he's taking care of the baby, and let's say I'm cooking, he can't tell me 5 minutes before, like, hey, can you take it for 2 hours? Because it won't work because of the way I've set my day.
Yeah.
But we're really good with saying, like, okay, I need this time to do this. After school, I'm gonna ride the Peloton. After school, after she goes down, I'm gonna go to the gym. After that, I'm gonna do the thing. So whatever it is that we do, we just write everything down on our calendar that's in our kitchen, color coded. Yeah, it's necessary.
That's something I need. So
you do.
For me, I find it so difficult to schedule and put things together, but I know I need it.
Yeah.
and I think where I see myself is just like, okay, get yourself into like a general routine,
Yeah.
and then when you see yourself in that routine, then you can start to mark it down and say like, okay, this started to work for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, there's some people who are like master organizers. Like, I could never do that.
Yeah.
I think it definitely keeps us like sane, especially you with 2 kids. Like you have to go with your schedule, with Mama's schedule, with your kids' schedule, and like there's always events, there's always doctor's appointments. Everyone has a birthday every weekend. You always have something. You have to go to family's house. You have to run these errands, whatever. So if you see, I mean, for us, we have it like a monthly, and I'm able to see like, oh, Saturday I can't take an order past 12 because we're going to Tony Lana's house. So like seeing it there, it's like, okay, that's set in stone. Once it's written on the whiteboard, that's it.
Yeah. So we have a calendar on our fridge.
Yeah, we had a smaller one. We had to get it big.
You have to get it big.
And we color code. So like Charlie's in pink, so her appointments are in pink. The things that I have to do are in blue. The things that Brian has to do are in red. The things that Titans are in brown. I do the calendar.
And let you try and do something that's not on that calendar.
Oh.
You will hear about it. Either way, like, hold on a second. You said you're going up where? Come on, let me go check the calendar.
It does.
No,
it
it
does.
wasn't on there.
It balances us for sure, though.
Oh.
It's helpful.
No, it's good. That's really good, and I think that's something that I'm going to take away. Well, one of the things I'm going to take away is, okay, can we introduce this color-coded calendar to help us be a little bit more coordinated and more sane?
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So, to take a step back, I want to know, how did Teton Streets start?
This is a fun one. So my little sister Chetty was, this was in 2019 when we were on lockdown. She was like, oh, I want to make some chocolate covered strawberries for mommy for Mother's Day, which obviously is in May. And I was like, oh, let's do it. So she like saw a video and then we made it. And then I was like, oh, wow, this is pretty easy. Maybe we should like sell some strawberries for Mother's Day. And so we kind of like really quickly like pulled something together and ended up selling like $600 worth of chocolate covered strawberries. And from that, I was like, I think I can do this like for real, because I've always been very creative. I'm the one that does all of my siblings, or did all of my siblings and my cousins' school projects. I like the color coordinating thing, like the aspect of making something look aesthetically like beautiful. I love doing that, which is why you got the ones that aren't so perfect over there. And so I realized that I was really good at it, and so my mom ended up coming and joining us. We named the Titan Streets after my grandmother, Mama Titan, and also like the alliteration. And my sister ended up starting her own business, like her clothing boutique. So she went her separate way, and then my mom and I kept going. And I wouldn't say that I'm a baker. Like when people ask me that, I don't say that because like I don't sell chocolate chip cookies. I sell sugar cookies with like fondant art and icing art. So my mom is really the baker, and I'm the confectioner, the one that does all of the designs. And so we started during the pandemic, kind of like, no shade obviously, but when like everyone was opening up their small business. And here we are 5 years later, still going as strong as ever. One of the very few COVID side hustles that have continued, which makes me very proud of myself. Because obviously there were times that just like throughout life happening that I had to take a step back for a minute, or like when I had my baby, or when we went to Italy for that time, or when I got married, or just like whatever happened, I always went back to it, and I've kept it going, and I think it'll keep going for a while.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's inspiring.
I just think back to when that all first started. That day,
That was a
y'all,
mess.
it was chaos.
It was
in that
chaos,
kitchen.
because
There was
we-
just things
We had
everywhere.
people, I know.
Chocolate boxes.
And we also said we'd deliver, so we had
Yeah, so
Brian
we
and
delivered.
my sister's partner
got
delivering.
no cut of the pay. What's
No, none of them for you.
So just using up my own gas.
We were delivering at like 8 p.m. We definitely, and
Wow.
I didn't plan well enough at that point because I didn't know.
Right.
But it kind of like blew up in the beginning, because I was one of the first people to. Now you see them more everywhere, but during that time, people weren't doing that. Like they weren't doing chocolate covered strawberry art. They weren't doing like K-pop art. Now there are more, of course. I think one of the reasons that also Titans is so successful and the fact that we're still here is because we like never let up. Like we didn't stop for too long of a period to like fall back on social media, and the people that order from us continuously order from us, and you know I provide a product it's nice to look at. So yeah.
Awesome.
Mm.
I mean, I remember there've been a couple times where you've sent some treats, or
Yeah.
I think for Idris's birthday you did some stuff
Yeah.
for us, and people loved it.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh my
The
god.
cupcakes were
Oh.
one of that say something. Those are so cute. Yeah.
So when you said that you had to take a step back and
Yeah.
you know you always found a way to just come back to it.
Yeah.
What was that thing that led you to keep coming back?
I couldn't let go of it. Like I worked too hard. First of all, financially, I've put a lot of money into it because I like the way things look. Like for instance, this box, like the cover is, and also I'm very like anal about it. So
Yeah.
it's clear, so you can see the entire order. This is a small one. I have huge ones that are exactly like this, and they cost more money. But they cost more money because they're prettier, and so I like to buy things that are a little nicer. And so I put in a lot of money, of course, but it's also a lot of time and a lot of practice. And it's named after my grandmother. Like I don't want to not ever do it because it was like an ode to her. And I don't know. I don't see myself like stopping completely ever because I'm just kind of like really good at it too. And if I'm good at something, I am. Yeah. I wouldn't want to stop it, especially because like I started it. It was a thing that I started with my sister and my mom, and it's stuck around through everything. So
Resilience.
yeah.
That's good. That's really good. And Brian, you just started Candace by Brian? No,
Candace
Brian
by
Craft.
Candace by
Craft.
Craft.
Jesus, Candace by
Yeah.
Brian. By Brian Craft.
Brian Craft.
Or the crafts.
Well, I think,
Oh,
okay.
He's taking the pictures. I'm helping.
fair enough. So you just started this year, right?
6 months ago. Yeah. So I was, again, still in my infancy of my photography career, but it's funny how it all started because the camera that I use now was a camera I bought, I want to say at least 2 years ago now, for Yvonne.
Was it last Christmas?
No, it wasn't last Christmas. It was at a minimum two Christmases.
Yeah, before it was Christmas.
I bought it for Yvonne
Yeah.
because she wanted a camera for Christmas because she wanted to start getting into photography and taking
Mhm.
pictures. So I'm like, great. I bought it for her. She used it for a little bit, then went up in the closet.
I just didn't have enough time for it.
It just chilled in the closet.
I was
for a
busy
while.
with the thumbs.
You know? So I'm like, all right, I bought this thing, this piece of equipment here, and it's just chilling. And last fall, we went up to Vermont to see the foliage. And we're like, let's grab the camera and let's go. So we went up there, and a couple days go by, and the camera didn't come out, like still in the bag. So I was like, give me this thing, like let me do this. And I just started snapping away, and I don't know, something just took over me, like the way that it felt, the way that it made other people feel after seeing what it is that you captured was really interesting to me, and I really loved that feeling. So it was something that I didn't immediately dive into right away. Like it took some time. I want to say in around the spring when I was just thinking about, what am I going to do this summer? I just had a baby. We're going to be around. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm like, okay, let me dive into maybe photography a little bit more. So I started doing some research, looking at classes and things online. And I came across Boston Photography Workshops. And they had offered this like package, which was like, basically I could take as many classes as I wanted to throughout the summer for a fee. So I did that and took full advantage of it. I did Lord knows how many classes, anything and everything that they had to offer. Like I did it. I'm like I'm getting like Denzel. Like I'm leaving here with something. So I definitely got my money's worth for sure.
Yeah.
but again, as the more and more I did it, the more and more I could just see myself wanting to do that as a potential, not outlet, not just for like my creative sense, but you know, potentially as a career path down the line. So Yvonne and I spoke about it, and that's kind of how Candids by Craft began. And
Well, I had created the Instagram handle that
Yes,
when we went
bought
to
the camera,
Vermont,
actually.
when we bought the camera,
yeah,
And craft, I know it was gonna be a craft eventually. So,
Yeah.
and I like the alliteration. The Thanks Treats, Candids by Craft. So we had the Instagram. We posted 2 photos that Bryant took in Vermont last year.
Yeah.
And then one photo I took of Adriel in a pumpkin, and I
Yeah.
shoved him in a pumpkin. There were like 2 photos, and then almost like a year goes by, and then we started then he took over it and started posting like the pictures that he would take. So now there's like obviously more, but it was around for a while, and then Bryant picked it up and hasn't let it go.
Yeah, so and now I'm kind of, again, still very much in the learning phase for sure, but now I feel a little bit more comfortable in my skills that I've been developing over the last couple of months, where now I'm starting to take on some projects from people requesting things, so
Yeah.
my portraits or what have you, and again, for me, it's a difficult balance, because like, you know, I want to be good, obviously, right away. Like most people, when they pick things up or they want to try something, like you want to be good at it, right? But that struggle is super important in the beginning, right? So that's kind of where I'm going through now, where sometimes I'll be like, guessing myself, like, does this look good? I'm not really sure. But at the end of the day, it's like, you just gotta post it. And
Yeah, exactly.
credit to her, like she's helped me a lot with that, because she reflects back on her story when she made her like first chocolate covered strawberry,
Yeah.
Right.
and
Yeah,
like
that's
seeing
good.
the growth from when she did it 5 years ago now, almost to now, it's like,
Yeah.
it's crazy, night and day. So I just have to constantly remind myself that, like, this is a learning phase, this is a growing process, it's going to take time, but if I stick with it, right, and I'm really dedicated to it, and I put in the work, I will see that transition from, you know, those first photos that I've taken to hopefully, you know, years from now.
Yeah.
Something very, very different.
Yeah, I'm sure. And it's iteration, right? So as you continue to take photos, you start to understand, like, this is what like my style is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, this is my vision. This is how I see Candids by Crafts looking like.
Yeah.
Then you start to own it. Not to say you don't own it already, but then you start to feel like in your power of
Yeah.
the camera is a part of me.
Yeah.
I can shoot whenever I want to, and it's just going to look the way I want it to look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know, you mentioned that struggle, like understanding what that struggle is, and having her as being your partner to help you through that struggle. And I'm curious, how does it work for how do you two like reciprocate that communication? Like, if one is struggling, how does it work?
So I think that, like, aside from the things, like, if I'm struggling, it's usually I just like want to complain. So it's like, okay, well, do you need a hug? Do you want to complain, or do you just like, do you want solutions? Like, what is it? So usually it's just I want to complain and I want to hug. But when I want like actual, okay, I need to figure out how to do this, how to fix this, then it's just like being very open and like, I am struggling here, or this is what I see, this is what I need. And just like the communication part, I think is really important.
Yeah, I think it's great the fact that we both can confide in each other and trust each other's like honest opinions when it comes to our work.
Yeah.
Because she'll be one to ask me like, hey, does this look right? Like, is that sprinkle in the right place? Or how does this photo look? Should I post this? Should I post that?
Yeah.
And at the same time, so like tomorrow, on Monday, I'm doing a portrait for someone. So they're gonna come in and I'm gonna do a shoot, and Yvonne is really good at giving direction to people, right? Like myself. But I mean, I'm a husband, right? Like I gotta, it comes with the job. But giving direction to people and in portrait photography, like that's something that's super important, right? Being able to communicate and like work with your subject and how you want them to stand and sit, and she's gonna help me with that as I'm still again getting more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But that's something she's great at. So like working with the model and just being like, okay, like let me fix her hair.
Right.
Let me turn her this way.
We're both very aware of
Yeah.
like the strengths that we have. So like if I'm trying to post a picture on Titan's in order that I make, like I know that he has like a photographer eye. So I show him like 3 pictures, I'm like, which one should be the cover, and he'll explain like, oh, I like this one because the background is not blurred. Like he'll see things that I don't see, and then vice versa. So if he's taking a picture of someone, he might not see that the hair is out of place, but that's the very first thing I see. Like immediately is what I see. Like that's what my eyes focus to, the imperfections, because that's what I look for when I make my treats.
Yeah.
Like if it's not perfect, I don't like want it. And so when he's doing photos and someone's like he did the girls, our school's volleyball team, their headshots, and one of the girls, like her sports bra strap was out, and instantly I was like, she's gonna notice that, like I gotta go fix it. And you know, sometimes I'm a little bit assertive, like it's the Latina in me, so I go up and I fix it automatically. Like I don't even say like, okay, pause.
Yeah.
Because I know that after, he might not notice it in that moment, but after when he's looking at the pictures, he'll be like, damn, like that was there and I didn't fix it. So we each have strengths, and we help each other obviously in the process. I can't even like function the camera, and he can't dip a strawberry to save his life, but there are other parts.
Because she won't allow me.
There are other parts that we
I don't
help
have
each other
steady
out.
hands all the time, but
He does
I
not.
can.
No.
All right, so we're gonna switch gears a little bit. I created a game called The Perennials, and so we're gonna pick a card, and on the card there is a theme, and then there's a prompt. Okay.
Okay.
So, however you want to pick a card, whether from the top or from whatever.
We each take one individually, or just one?
Yeah, we'll do a couple
Okay.
rounds, of 2. So, yep, you can. Okay. Who wants to go first?
Okay. What am I doing? Oh, I took
Hey,
a 5.
hey.
My bad.
Jeez.
My bad. Oh. Make sure there's only one in there.
I got one.
Oh, okay. Okay, challenge. Pretend you're writing a love note to coffee or tea and read it out loud. Pretend you're writing a love note to coffee. I love coffee. So I'm writing a love note to coffee.
Yeah.
This should be no problem, Maria.
You know, wait, I'm not going to pretend that I wrote this because I saw something a long time ago. I read it and I posted a selfie back in like the, what is it called? You post like not a thirst trap, but like a photo of yourself for like.
Damn, your age is
Anyways, a long time ago that said.
Line?
No.
No.
It was a MySpace post.
Yeah.
It was a caption to a photo, whatever. And it said, you were my cup of coffee. I drink tea now. So that's my little love note.
Ooh, I like that.
All right.
But I don't drink tea though.
So that's what happens when you work with young people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I must ask before we go into Brent.
Yeah.
Favorite tea and favorite coffee.
Favorite coffee, favorite team?
Favorite tea.
Oh, I don't drink tea at all.
Oh, you don't drink tea at all?
No, I don't like tea. I need caffeine. I'm Dominican. I used to be 5 years old dipping my pan into my cafe. It's just what we did. We'd squeeze out the coffee, but there's still the remnants of coffee. Charlie's gonna have her first sip in a couple of weeks. I really like the blonde espresso from Starbucks.
Okay.
So I have an espresso at home, so I buy the blonde espressos. And I drink it out of the Greca, like a regular cafecito with like brown sugar, maybe some like steamed milk.
Cafecito.
Yeah, cafecito.
Real quick side note before you get to me. I had Charlie yesterday on the couch.
Oh my God,
Ivana
that's
had
my
left
baby.
her coffee on the arm of the couch.
Just a little sip.
I'm assuming it was from this morning.
From the morning, yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and she's over here playing, and I was just like sending a quick message, and I hear out of the side, like to my side, and she was like slurping, and I'm like, what is that? And I'm thinking maybe she's sucking on her fingers or whatever. And I look over, and she's got the cup, and I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, I hope you got it.
She's
This child did not just drink
Dominican.
any of this
It's
coffee
in her
right now.
blood.
But I'm like, yo, look what your daughter's doing. So,
Literally.
unbelievable.
It's in the blood.
It's in the blood, exactly. It's
Not
in
my
the
blood.
blood.
I don't drink coffee.
He does not.
You don't drink coffee.
No.
Mm-mm.
Really?
And he always take a sip of my coffee every time I go to Starbucks and he'd be like, disgusting.
Yeah,
Every
that's-
time.
this is terrible.
Yeah. Could not be me.
That's a new thing I've learned about you.
Just-
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Never been a
Never
fan.
has. No.
Do you drink tea?
On occasion,
Sometimes,
like I'll
but-
drink green tea
But not
Yeah.
like regularly.
or like chamomile tea,
Not like
but
with
not
the,
like
I need a coffee.
I need it like every night or like every morning when I wake up.
I understand. Need it every morning.
How many cups of coffee a day?
I usually do like 1 to 2. If I'm like they're espresso shots though, really. But I usually do like 1 to 2 cups. Yeah. When I was pregnant, I cut it down to 1, but I'm not pregnant anymore, and I need energy to keep up with Charlie baby. So.
Yeah. You have to.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Mr. Bryant.
All right,
What you got?
let's see here. Share a guilty pleasure TV show or song that you only admit to hear.
I'm just thinking of so many songs because you're so dumb.
Yeah, damn, this was a hard one.
There's so many songs.
What's that trash show on Netflix that you like to watch?
Love is Blind.
Love is Blind.
Oh,
Trash.
Yeah.
It's
So, like, it's one of those things. It is so bad, but you can't look away from
You can't.
look away from it.
You can't. Yeah, it's terrible.
And like, I hate her for like
I hate her
getting
too
me
for
getting
it.
me into it.
Yeah.
Because I'll be like, again, just can't look away. This is so stupid. Play the next
Oh,
episode. I gotta know what happens. Yeah, I gotta know what happens now. I'm too invested.
Yeah.
There was I don't remember which season it was. Maybe it was the one from earlier this year with Jess. Was it in North Carolina?
Jess, yeah. Like, you're gonna need an EpiPen.
Yes. Yeah.
her. That was the season.
So
yeah.
we started watching it. I think I watched it like the first, maybe like the 6th or 7th episode. And then I was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore.
It's so bad.
But like, but then I was just like, I have to see what happens.
You have to finish it. Yeah. Yeah. You can't just start something and not finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is bad, but it's the guilty pleasure.
All right.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
All right. One more.
Sure.
Yeah.
Another round. You gonna cut the deck?
Sure, you do it. Because I could last time. 1.
Yeah, 1 this time.
1.
6.
Hmm.
I'll go first.
Good, because I wasn't thinking about this one.
All right. What do you got?
Do your best motivational speaker impression and inspire the group to take a nap.
No, I don't need any inspiration to take a nap. I will sleep anywhere.
Yeah, if I don't fall asleep, I'm cute.
Seconds.
Um,
Give me a pillow. I'll knock out on the table.
motivational speaker impression.
Do that.
What's that? Was it like Obama? Be like, it's time to take a nap. It's just good for your growth. And you need it for your overall brain development.
Beautiful. That's
What you
beautiful.
Go back and sweet dreams.
That's so good.
That was good. That was good. All right. What do you got?
Alright, mine is story. What's a skill you're secretly proud of, no matter how random? Okay, so this, Brian hates this actually.
Oh.
So I don't know, I think I was like washing my face once with just face wash, and like as I'm washing it, like I can't breathe, I like blow out, and I end up blowing a bubble, like with the face wash.
Your nose.
With my mouth. With my mouth.
I almost feel like the nose would be a little bit more like normal and accidental. Like, no, this is not.
Well, because I was breathing out, and I did it happened with my mouth at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then I
What did it
realized
turn into?
I'm so good at doing it. It's actually it's like what's that MTV show that's like when people like
Ridiculousness?
use bleach or something or I don't know, is that
It is
my
ridiculous.
weird obsession or something it's called? I don't know what it's called. But I can blow a lot of bubbles if I just have like soap in my hand and I look this, I like press it on my lips, I can like blow like 50 bubbles. And I'm really proud of it. and Brian hates it, and I do it. It's like become like
Grow up.
a thing.
Party trick.
And I do it to like Charlie. It's a party trick, yeah. And I am proud of it because I do a lot of them really fast.
Like
I just don't know where it doesn't stop, and it only works with the Dove body wash.
you know,
Only
it'd be like
the Dove.
Only the Dove. Oh, that's the only one I've tried actually.
I feel like when in your relationship when you'll shower with your partner or whatever, and obviously now having a kid it's a little bit harder, but sometimes like she'll jump in there and I'll just be like lathering up or whatever, and then all of a sudden I'll just see over my shoulder like bubble bubble bubble, and I'm like, get out.
You get so mad. He'll like wet my face. He'll be like, stop it.
That's hilarious.
That's great.
Oh,
I don't know why I do
shit.
that. I'm just really good at it, so now I can't stop. It's like the times I'm so good I can't stop.
Interesting. All right, a skill that you've learned.
Blowing bubbles.
Blowing bubbles.
With Dove soap,
I'm a child.
Dove body soap.
Body wash, yeah.
All right. Good to know. All right. So you mentioned that you traveled. Have you traveled with Charlie yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Well, we did the small driving tour, was it? Was it fun?
We've gone
The
down to the
Cape?
Cape.
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
No plans
There's
just
no
yet.
getting on planes.
Yeah.
Definitely want to soon.
Yeah. We're planning a trip to DR in the summer,
Oh.
so she can go visit the motherland, and we can get some time to just give her to the grandparents and
Mhm.
just chill at the beach.
Definitely want to take a trip out to Portugal.
Yeah,
sure.
I know.
2026.
We were supposed to start in Portugal for our big Italy trip, but we had to cut it out, and I had like the whole day planned, and it was gonna be so amazing in Lisboa, and then we had to cut it out. But you're going in 2026?
Yeah.
Like, is there you guys always go?
Well, our
Amazing.
10-year anniversary.
Mm.
Oh, it's a thing. You're
Yeah.
doing a thing.
Yeah, thing.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
intrigue.
Mom, if you're listening, 2026.
Yeah.
Be ready to babysit.
Oh, yeah, I'll make your own on there.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, indeed.
I want to go.
Yes. So I've already said it now.
Yeah.
All right. It's out there.
Give me dates.
Yeah.
I'm trying to have my next baby October 2026.
By October 2026.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like give birth October 2026. But I'm assuming it would be in like the summer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
That's
you're
perfect.
you already have this scheduled out.
In my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, it works perfectly with work and stuff, so you gotta think ahead.
Yeah.
We plan these babies like perfectly.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is very true. I'll pause and now edit it. Do you want to talk about IVF?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm very open about it.
Cool. So talking about Charlie, and probably many people don't know, at least from like our end, that both Idris and Ellie, they were IVF babies, and like we had issues conceiving, and yeah, I think it was like a year and a half,
Mhm.
and understanding like you all went through the same, and I love to know what that experience was like.
Yeah. Well, do you want to actually start? I'd love to hear it from your side before I give you all the technical terminology.
It was hard. I mean, just from a male perspective, seeing how much she had to go throughout the entire process, and there's nothing that I could physically like do to like take the pain away, right? Or like share some of that burden, outside of just being there for her, emotionally. But it was tough. We were probably the same, where we'd been trying for a year and a half,
A year and a half.
without much success conceiving, and our first trial with IVF, first cycle with IVF, didn't go as we had hoped, which was disappointing, and kind of the waiting period before you could try again was super tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, just again as a male, seeing all that she had to go through was hard. And then also now just acknowledging how incredible and strong she was for all that. And you know, she's the rock of this family. You know, without her making those sacrifices, you know, we wouldn't be in this position now. So
That's true. Did you do the shots?
Yeah.
I did.
Didn't you?
Yes, I did. I'm not a big needles person. So
He's like, I don't have a medical degree.
Yeah. I'm like, my hands aren't steady enough to do this.
Yeah.
And she's like, you know, I'm the one who's taking the shot. Like,
Yeah. Let us know.
quit being a little baby and prick me. Yeah, that part was hard.
Yeah.
That part was hard. I was definitely nervous about doing the shots for sure.
Yeah. I mean, the needles, they're hard. Obviously nothing compared to like the emotional weight that you have to carry when you're doing IVF.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing compares to that really, because, you know, women are biologically made to have children. So when you struggle with fertility and you struggle to have children, it's really like a blow to you because, oh, my body is not doing what it's meant to do. So it was definitely a very sad time. The highest, like at least mine, and yours as well, obviously, our highest, most exciting moments are always attached to like the darkest times. So we got pregnant naturally in May of 2022. Got pregnant naturally in May 2022. And then we were leaving on our trip to Italy in early July, and I had an appointment, like my 8-week checkup, and it turned out that it was an ectopic pregnancy, which means it didn't attach to, like, to the uterus. So it was growing in one of my fallopian tubes, and so I had to have surgery for it to remove one of my fallopian tubes, and that was after having tried for a full year to have a baby. And so that happened, and then a week later we got engaged, and then a couple days after that we went to Italy. So it was like our darkest times was attached to such like a light and happy moment. And then we got back from Italy and I started IVF in November, and then we got pregnant with our first transfer. And then it stopped. It was January, got pregnant with the first transfer, end of January. Got pregnant with the first transfer, but then it stopped growing, and so I had to have surgery to remove it. And then 4 days later we got married. And so, like, again, the lowest, like, darkest days attached to, like, the lightest days. But then June 19th, we had our transfer of Charlie, and we got pregnant. And, like, I don't even remember the dark times or the bad times or the heavy times or the sad times. Like, obviously there were moments that I was literally, like, I can't go on, I can't do this is ridiculous. Like, it was very sad. My best friend was always saying, like, once she's here, once he's here, once your baby's here, you're not gonna remember it. And she was right, because I don't. I just, like, see her, and it's like I work so hard for her, and I'm so grateful, you know, with a lot of love and a little science. We got her, and I'm so grateful to have been able to do IVF, and that I was given that, because we probably would have still been trying.
Yeah. I remember just going through that process. It was draining.
Yeah, draining.
It was hard on our relationship.
Yeah.
It was, the time up before it, and then like leading towards it, and then like as we started to like grow our relationship a little bit more and just understanding each other a bit more, then things started to like happen for us.
Yeah.
And it's like science is
amazing.
It's amazing that we were able to do this, but it's also sad that like so many couples are having issues. I know one of Lena's friends. she's been trying. She tried for years. Tried, and just recently she had a son, I believe. And it's tough.
Infertility affects 1 in 5 women, and we don't talk about it enough. We don't talk about IVF enough, and it sounds like such a dirty word, like infertility. I mean, like, I'm thinking about it in like novelas that I used to watch. It's like, oh, you can never have kids, but like that's not what it means. It just means you struggle. And it's definitely not talked about at all. I feel like it's still so like taboo to say, and so I feel like every time I have the opportunity to talk about it, I'm very honest about it and I'm very open about it because IVF, like, it changed our lives. Like, it gave us our baby, and I mean, who knows where we would have been if we didn't go down that path. And like, it was because of our first pregnancy that led us to IVF because I was missing a fallopian tube, or I am missing one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gone. It's not missing. And so it was kind of like fast tracked us on the IVF path. But yeah, I'm grateful every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so to wrap up a few things. One, where do you see Teton Streets and where do you see Canvas by Crafts, 6 months, a year from now, and then like that, yes, we did it moment.
Damn. 6 months and a year, I think I'll probably still be in the same like place with events, just because right now it's not my number one priority. Like, my daughter's my number one priority, and when I go back to work, I have to learn to balance motherhood with working, and always she's my priority, so she comes before anything. And so I'm not at the point, and it's not the season in my life right now where I'm dedicating everything to Titans like it was in 2019, because we were in a pandemic, we were shut down, there was nothing else for me to do, we weren't trying to have a baby at that point. So I was able to give it 100% of me, and right in the 6 months and a year, that's not necessarily the case because I'm still going to be juggling everything. But I'm hopeful that I will get back to that. It is nice to think that I would be able to stop teaching and make this my full career, but we live in a world where we have mortgages and we have car payments and we have student loans, and so I think it's for me it's important to like keep my feet on the ground and be very realistic about my job is the one that pays my bills, and I need to make sure that I'm all set in that before I go deeper with the things. My aha moment with the things will be if I have like a little coffee shop where I have cake pops, like a display, and different funky chairs and like books and stuff. Like, that would be the dream. But that's, I don't see that happening for, a couple of years, closer to a decade maybe. Especially because we want to have another baby.
Yeah.
So
Things could change.
things could change, yeah.
Never know.
You'd never know. I mean, especially now with trying to cut down the Department of Ed. Maybe I'll be doing this full time before we know it. If, homeboy does what he says he wants to do.
Facts. Yeah, for me, again, she's much further along in her kind of side hustle career than I am at the moment. So I would say for me in the next 6 months, my goal would be to just now start increasing or promoting my brand a little bit more.
Yeah.
As of right now, it's kind of more people just hitting me up on the side, like, hey, or hitting her up on the side, like, hey, would your husband mind doing some photos of our family, or do you want to shoot this event for us? So for me, again, it'd just be increasing my brand a little bit more and kind of better defining the kind of financial side of the business for myself.
Right.
A year from now, I would say if we're talking about like monetary type value, it would just be like
Making money.
Making money, you know what I'm saying?
That would be nice.
That would be fantastic to just have this, again, I would say side hustle for now, but the side hustle being able to generate more income that can help support our family with our goals that we have. Home ownership is a big goal that we have, so getting out of debt, like most Americans and families, is a big goal, right? So to be able to have another stream of income and have it being something that I enjoy and I like, as opposed to like just looking for another job to pick up that maybe I'm not too fond of, but it's like, hey, we just need more money, so I gotta do this thing. But have it be something I'm passionate about. Passionate about is the goal, and long term, similar to what Ivana said, like I think my ideal long term would be able to have this side hustle turn into my full time career,
Yeah.
and have it be able to support myself and my family for sure. When I think about photography, kind of what I envision, there's a Boston-based photographer who I follow a lot, and I see him shooting like the Celtics games. I've seen him shooting for Arsenal Football Club, and I'm like, that would be really cool, like to do that for myself. So whether it be sports, street photography, brand photography, just things that I like, and if I'm working more in a freelance role, being able to take on projects that some of these teams or brands or what have you, and just be able to do things my way and be able to create. I think that's, for me, the goal.
Yeah.
Is just being able to have control of my life, in a career sense. When you're working for other people, like they can determine whether you're needed or not, whether you're expendable or not. And that is something that is, at this point in my life, doesn't sit well with me. So I see photography as a means of me being able to take control and create and be my own business, if you will. So
That's a powerful word.
So beautiful, right?
Oh man, I remember we were at our friend's bachelor party in Miami, and Bryant was sitting at the table, just doing his work.
Oh,
Just
he was in
studying.
grad school. I remember.
yeah.
I don't know why this memory, this moment came up for me. It's just because Brian, you work so hard. You think about your family. You think about your friends. You think about your future. You think about the next generation, like the generations afterwards, and you are just meticulous in not to be punny, but yeah, craft.
Perfect.
You really are, and I commend you, and that's something that I love about you, and you are just so powerful in the way that you are. You're probably the most soft spoken of the group, but your words are they carry the most weight.
Somebody just said you're him. That's what you kids say.
You are that guy.
No, that's love. It goes right back at you. Being sitting here right now is giving me motivation again to just keep going and pursuing the things that I'm passionate about, because I see what it is that you do, and I've seen your drive and your determination on all your projects for a long time now, right? Back from Debonair to the Perennials now, and all these entrepreneurial gigs that you've taken on over the years. But I see that again, same thing. You just you lock in, full focus, and you put your everything and your all into it, and that gives me motivation to keep going. And I think that's good. When you have people in your circle like that, that inspire you, that push you, that want you to be better. That's super helpful. So
You need that.
Yeah.
So you don't get
And of course,
complacent.
having great wives.
Yes, of course.
Yes,
That's
and
number
having
one.
great
Great
wives.
wives. And great babies.
So to wrap up, where can people find you? How can they find you? How can they order? How can they purchase?
Well, we're the Titans Treats on every platform: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. That's Titans Treats, but it's pronounced Titan with an accent on the
You said
A.
make sure it's an S, not a Z.
An S, not a Z. Titans. Titans Treats. Titans Treats.
Alliteration.
Alliteration. You can just shoot me a DM.
Yeah, likewise. I'm on Instagram, Candies by Craft.
Craft with a C.
Craft with a C, not a K. That's very important to be specific about. It's crafted with a C, not a K. Same, like I can always just be messaged via Instagram, personal Instagram. CraftB7 can also be messaged there as well.
All right, I'll put these in the show notes as well. I want to say thank you, Ivana, Bryant.
Thank you.
We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we got through it.
Yeah.
We got through it. Thank you. This is Tony. This is Perennials.
I love it. That was so good. You're such a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you give podcast vibes. Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that, I guess.
It's good.
Yeah, thank you.
grinding your teeth already?
She better not
I
be.
hope not.
Charlie, baby, don't even start. Hey, girl.
The poor girl's a little stuffy, huh?
Yeah, I feel so bad.